I think you have some of the most important jobs in our military, maybe in our country, which is educating our future leaders. And they are leaders not only in the military, but eventually in their communities as well. And I think your job has been made more difficult by some of the recent talk about a woke military and some of the recent orders that you've had to implement, like the DEI executive orders, eliminating DEI content from your curriculum and campuses, which I think has a chilling effect on the discourse that takes place on campuses, which is really part of the educational experience. What young people say to each other, what they learn from each other, I think is as important as maybe some of the courses that they take. And I trust that you have faithfully executed the orders from your commander-in-chief to eliminate all the DEI content from your campuses and curriculum. I understand in the case of West Point, sir, you reviewed over 600 courses and you eliminated just 2 to come into compliance, which says to me there was not a lot of this extraneous DEI woke content in your courses. Is that a fair conclusion on my part?
Senator, and the review is still ongoing given the time frame. We're in the validation frame. But of over 600 courses that were reviewed, 2 were determined to not be compliant with the executive order, and thus we eliminated those 2 courses. They were higher level electives that had a fairly small population of cadets that were enrolled in that. Excuse me, sir?
What were the 2 courses that?
Sir, one was a history course and the other was an English course. Respectively, the population was impacted about 25 cadets in one course and 13 in another.
What was the title of the?
Oh, yes, sir. The title for the history course was it was HI 463, Race, Ethnicity, and Nation, and our English course, which was English 352, was Power and Difference, sir. And like I said, 25 cadets impacted in the history course, 12 cadets impacted in the English course.
Could you give me for the Navy, Admiral Davis, the equivalent information, and maybe for the Air Force as well?
Certainly, sir. Thank you for the question. Out of 870 courses that we reviewed, only 2 of them were canceled. They were NL 445, Gender Matters, and that's a leadership course, sir, and an English course, HE 374, Gender Sexuality Studies. We had a total of 18 other classes that we either needed to modify very minorly or make some subtle adjustments to bring it to compliance with the executive orders.
Senator Blumenthal, we're in the middle of our course review. So we've conducted a review of our 735, and we're doing a 2 sets of eyes on the review as we go forward. Of the 735, we have assessed that right now there are 55 courses that we've identified for further on analysis. Of those numbers, right now our initial assessment is 40% will require no change, 53% will require minor admin or reading change, and only 3 of the courses potentially for suspension. I have not made that decision yet, and once I do, sir, I'll follow up on the record with the names of those courses.
All of you could follow up. I know that this review may be ongoing, as you've said, General. I would appreciate knowing. You know, the reason why it's a somewhat impossible position, in order to teach about tyranny, you have to read books on Nazism, right? Some of the bad stuff has to be learned in order to avoid mistakes that have been made in the past. The military has an extraordinary and proud record of leading our nation on desegregation. It literally led the nation. And we should be teaching that history so that our military can be not only proud, but continue to lead the nation in its values and principles, let me just say it, of diversity, which is what you do. You are diverse, and you need to teach people how to deal with diverse groups that they will command, and inclusion, because you want to include people from different backgrounds and races and religions and be able to lead them as well and do it equitably. So I'm very sympathetic to your dilemma right now, and I hope that the Congress can help you rather than hinder you with the kind of rhetoric that has become all too popular about woke military and all that stuff. I want to thank you for the great job that you are doing. I nominate every year people to go to your great institution. I wish all of them could be admitted, but I must say one of the most satisfying and fulfilling tasks I have is to do those nominations, because they are extraordinary, just exemplary young men and women. And thank you for helping to educate them.
Thanks, Senator Blumenthal. Senator Butt.